Yeah.
I don't, what one of the follow-ups to sort of that question was kind of Songbird's role in the rollout and kind of how you feel it's going, and the longer term role of Songbird.
Sure. So Songbird is the canary network for Flare. What we've stated is the canary in the coal mine.
What's going on, YouTube? It's RPU, and I'm back. I'm back with another video, and let me say I am absolutely humbled. We have reached 100 subscribers, over 100 subscribers. I appreciate every single one of y'all. You guys committed to me by subscribing to this channel, so I am committed to you to bring you good content. If this is your first time to the channel, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. In today's episode, I'm going to be discussing Songbird and Kusama, also known as the canaries in the coal mine. Now, a lot of people compare Songbird to Kusama. A lot of people say that Songbird has the potential to moon, just like Kusama did. And so me being curious, I decided to do a deep dive, do a little research on both networks. And in today's episode, we're going to be comparing as well as highlighting the differences of each network. Now, before we begin, I just want to say that this is my understanding, my interpretation of all the information that I've received over the past couple of days. I'm not 100% right. If there's anything that I am wrong on, please let me know in the comments. If I'm right on anything, you can let me know in the comments too. I believe at the end of the day, since we're all invested in Songbird, it's a good idea to learn about what you're invested in. And with that said, let's begin. Alright, you guys. We're going to be speaking on the creators of each network, both Kusama and Flare. Just a little background information on each programmer. So, in the top left corner, we have Gavin Wood. Gavin began originating blockchain technology as co-founder and CTO of Ethereum. He invented fundamental components of the blockchain industry, including Solidity, Proof of Authority Consensus, and Whisper. At Parity, Gavin currently leads innovation on Substrate and Polkadot. He coined the term Web 3.0 in 2014 and serves as president of Web3 Foundation. The Web 3.0 is an interesting concept. It's basically the next generation of internet, which is decentralized networks, giving the power back to the people and not these big tech companies. People will have control over their identity and their data. Web 3.0 is the future. The future is now. Okay, so in the top right corner, we have Hugo Philion. Hugo Philion is the co-founder and chief executive of Flare Network, a decentralized network bringing full smart contract utility to the XRP ecosystem. Prior to this, he was a commodity derivatives portfolio manager responsible for two $1 billion funds. Philion left the job in 2016 to study machine learning at University College London, where he met his Flare co-founder Sean Rowan and chief scientist Nari Usher. With keen interest in blockchain and cryptocurrencies, the three decided it would be great to work together after UCL. This guy must be really, really smart to be able to manage that amount of money. You know, he's probably got a real good grasp on the market. Let's keep it going. All right. Feather for feather, a network comparison. So after going over each of the blockchain's websites, I came up with this list of things that are, that are highlighted on each network. A lot of their features are very similar, but a lot are different too. But I believe that some of these features on Kusama may be coming to Songbird at a later down the line, because they are they're the same type of blockchain. So let's go over some of the features of Kusama. The maximum supply is only 10 million. 10 million. Very, very scarce. Very scarce. There's not enough tokens to go around. Now, Kusama is the canary network for Polkadot. There's governance and voting utilizing the native token KSM. Okay, Parachain auctions. This is something that's unique to Kusama as of right now. They have where developers who have large amounts of the tokens can bid for slots to be able to lock in their tokens and have a lease on the Kusama blockchain where they can develop on Kusama for a year. And so this is a really big thing for Kusama because you have multiple blockchains trying to integrate with Kusama and Polkadot. So it's a good thing for competition and innovation. There are a lot of developers that want to build on Kusama, but due to the supply being so small, hey, the one with the biggest bag is probably going to get accepted. Okay, but there's another feature that I like about this Kusama, and that's crowd loan funding. Now, crowd loan funding is an idea where developers can set up a campaign within the community and ask for token holders to lend their Kusama coins to help fund more developments on the Kusama blockchain. And if you lend your Kusama tokens to a developer and have them locked up for a year, they will reward you with native tokens of their blockchain. So I think that's a really good incentive, I mean, you're not going to be able to touch your Kusama tokens for a year, but you're kind of like earning a passive income by helping out the developers by lending your tokens. It's kind of like a help me, help you situation. We also have non-fungible tokens, NFTs, and nomination of validators, which in my opinion is basically delegation of tokens. You delegate your tokens to a validator to validate transactions, and in return you are rewarded with Kusama tokens. Okay, and then now we have Songbird, which the maximum supply is 15 billion. 15 billion. Now, that's not necessarily a problem because, as I show you later on in this presentation, there are a lot of big name blockchains that are integrating with Flare. And I believe that there's going to be so many people involved with Songbird and Flare that it's possible that 15 billion tokens is not enough. Now, Songbird is the canary network for Flare. It also has a governance feature which utilizes the native token for Songbird. They have Flare time series Oracle delegation, which is what I'm currently doing right now. I moved my Songbird tokens from my MetaMask to my Bifrost wallet, and I delegated them to FTSOs, and I'm earning more Songbird tokens with just providing my coins to the network to ensure its success, validating transactions, helping out with security of the blockchain. It's a really good incentive. Delegation is a really good incentive. We also have minting of F assets like Algorand, Stellar. I'm going to show you later on in this presentation, but minting of F assets, it could be also, that could also be delegation, but I just wanted to highlight that as well. And we also have state connectors. Now, when I looked at the website for Songbird, there wasn't a lot of information on state connectors. So if you have any information on what a state connector is, please let me know in the comments. I'm in the process of learning just as much as you are. So if you could help me understand what something is that I don't know, it would be really appreciated. Now, you can see that a lot of the features that Kusama has, Songbird has as well. Let's keep it going. All right, parachains. Let's talk about parachains. Parachains are advanced next generation blockchains that transcend the limitations of legacy blockchain networks. The Kusama ecosystem is an interconnected network of specialized chains breaking down the walls of the centralized web, which is basically interoperability. I'm going to show you that later on in this presentation. Now, Kusama is Polkadot's experimental canary network. It is an early, unaudited, and wholly experimental pre-production trial network designed to help understand how the various cutting-edge technologies introduced in areas, including governance, staking, and sharding, work under real economic conditions. That's Kusama, right? Kusama is a parachain. Now, let's talk about Songbird. Songbird is the canary network for Flare. It will have two distinct phases. Prior to the launch of Flare, Songbird will be instrumental in the continued testing of the Flare Time Series Oracle, the State Connector, and F-Asset systems, and the network architecture. Polkadot is the originator of the canary network concept with their Kusama network. So, Songbird is a canary network, basically a parachain. Kusama is the originator of the parachain, which means basically they're the same. They're the same type. If two organisms are closely related and able to produce fertile offspring, then they are within the same species. Now, if Kusama and Songbird were real birds, they would probably be of the same species. You see what I'm saying? They're both the same type of blockchain, a parachain. Let's keep it going. All right, interoperability. Within the ecosystem, parachains run in parallel, and type of data may be sent between them due to Polkadot's cross-chain compatibility, opening up possibilities for new use cases. Thanks to cross-network bridges, parachains can also be connected to external networks such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others. Now, you see the arrows. I don't know if this is exactly right. This is basically how I interpreted it. So, Kusama is a sidechain. It runs side by side with Polkadot. But these 5 blockchains under Kusama, these won the auctions to be able to develop on Kusama. And Kusama allows these native blockchains to be able to communicate back and forth with each other. This is creating interoperability. Without Kusama, these blockchains weren't able to interact with each other. But now, thanks to sidechains, this opens up all type of new possibilities. Now, looking at Kusama and how it runs side by side with Polkadot, we can look at Songbird and Flare, which is basically the same thing. Now, Songbird runs side by side with Flare. We have a bunch of native blockchains, that can't necessarily communicate with each other. But now, thanks to sidechains, these blockchains can now become interoperable. And that's what we see right now with the Flare network. We're going to be able to use our Spark tokens to mint XRP, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Stellar, and Algorand. I think that's really cool, man. Now, what if someone is able to... We have all these blockchains being able to communicate with each other. But still, there's still some limitations. But what if somebody was able to create a blockchain that could communicate with Kusama and Flare, like they could communicate with each other? Then you would have one giant network of all these different blockchains being able to interact with each other. The possibilities are basically endless because the development of blockchain is like exponential. It's like you have Polkadot and then someone created a layer of Kusama and then someone could create a layer on top of that and keep going continuously where you have multiple layers running on a blockchain. It's like exponential. Like the possibilities are endless and the interoperability is endless. Maybe in the future there will be a time where every blockchain will be able to communicate with each other. I mean, we're starting to see that with Flare. Let's keep it going. All right, concurrent yet independent. Kusama is considered the cousin of Polkadot. They are written in very similar code. Even though parachains run side by side with the mainnet, the community can vote to take the networks in different directions through governance. Kusama can offer exclusive apps via the testnet and vice versa with Polkadot. This right here puts the power into the hands of the community. Like the developers, let's say they could create a DeFi application that's exclusively for Kusama. Or, they could create one for Polkadot. Even though they run side by side, they could have different decentralized applications running on them, which makes both of them very valuable. Even though Kusama is a testnet, it's a testnet before applications get transferred over to the mainnet, which is Polkadot. But if the developers in the community like the Kusama blockchain, they can vote to keep that application specifically for Kusama. So I think that in the future, these blockchains, let's say Flare, Songbird, they may start out with a bunch of the same applications, but over time, we may see exclusives for Songbird. We may see exclusives for Flare. I'm really excited for the possibilities, man. It seems like the sky is the limit, the more and more that I learn. Alright, expect chaos, no expectations. As networks built as risk-taking, fast-moving canaries in the coal mine for each of their respective cousins, they should not be considered production-ready networks. It is for testing of the integrity of the proposed production networks, proposed governance updates over time. The Flare team makes no promise to continue support or development of Songbird in the future. The team at Flare, and likely the various teams testing their dApps on Songbird, will be actively trying to find and exploit bugs and other issues and break the network. Please, therefore, be aware that Songbird comes with a potential for loss of liveness token loss and risk that is potentially greater than mainnet deployments. Measure twice, cut once. So there's a potential for you to lose your Songbird tokens if a developer writes a program with a bunch of bugs in it. There's also a finite number of Songbird tokens, which makes them even more valuable, and hackers will try to hack the blockchain and potentially steal your Songbird tokens. So it's very important that you understand the risks that come with testnet parachains, because there is a potential for loss. I don't want anything bad to happen. Let's say when an app comes out, be safe about it. Maybe let a little time go by for the application to develop a little bit more. Or you can wait for that app to be deployed on the Flare mainnet. But understand that there are risks. But without risk, there's no reward. All right, let's keep it going. All right, so the question that everybody has been asking: can Songbird moon just like Kusama did? Personally, I believe that Songbird can moon just like Kusama did. Why do I say that? Because we have interoperability with some of the biggest blockchains that are known right now. Kusama has a lot of developers, the ones that just won the auction and are currently developing on the blockchain. A lot of them I don't know, but each one of them is another potential rabbit hole for me to go down. Like I said, the possibilities are endless. But think about this. We have XRP, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Stellar, and Algorand. 3 of the coins that are interoperable with Songbird and Flare are ISO 20022 certified. Bringing in the new financial system. And I believe that when these coins moon, I believe that the utility is going to increase. Users of Songbird is going to increase, which will also cause the price to rise. There is a lot of potential for Songbird to moon. We're just in the beginning stages. Songbird has just recently taken flight. I hope you guys are all delegating your tokens, because this is helping out the test net in preparation for the launch of Flare. So it's really important that you delegate your Songbirds to FTSOs to ensure the security and everything that comes with the blockchain. This is just the beginning. But I definitely believe that Songbird will moon. 15 billion tokens is really not a lot. When I was listening to The Modern Investor, he has a video called How Much XRP You Could Own. Now, there's only 100 billion XRP. There's not enough for everyone on the planet. I think he said if we were to divide XRP evenly among everyone on this planet, I think there would only be about 10 or 11 XRP per person. So think about that. 100 billion XRP tokens, and you only have 15 billion Songbird tokens. There's not going to be enough Songbird tokens to go around. We're not only are we talking about investors, hodlers, but we're also talking about developers holding Songbird as well. So I believe that scarcity is really going to play a major part in the rise of Songbird, along with interoperability and the utility of ISO 20022 tokens. And that's the end of my presentation, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. If there's anything that I didn't get right, or anything that you would like to add to this presentation, please let me know in the comments. I'm reading all comments because I really want to learn about this network, as I am an investor in Songbird. And you know what they say: birds of a feather flock together. This is RPU. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.